welcome back to Royally Reading. I'm Sam. Today I'm going to be doing my first video book review. We're going to talk about Alan Wake by Rick Burroughs. It's based on the video game of the same name, Alan Wake. I've never played it. I want to, but I'm really bad with horror and thriller games, so I'm not sure how far into this I'm going to get, which is why I read the novelization first. That way, once I start this, if I take a while to get through it, if I get stuck, because I've never loaded it up, I'll have enjoyed the story, which I've been itching for a very long time. I picked this book up for my boyfriend back in 2017. I found it when I was in Denton, Texas on a visit there. I was working on my master's program with the University of North Texas, and in the main square there's a bookshop there. I can't remember what it's called. I will link its name and its site in the description box below for anyone interested. This book we were looking for a very long time. It was very hard to come across, and I'm very glad that we were able to pick it up. It has just taken me forever to read it. This is one of the first books I read for my October TBR for Halloween. It follows the titular hero, Alan Wake. He's a writer, and he and his wife Alice visit Bright Falls. They're going to be having a deer fest. He's been having a hard time with his latest book, and he doesn't feel like writing, but Alice insists that he should give it a try and that the trip could be good for them. And they have a series of misadventures, by which I mean Alice gets kidnapped. Alan ends up having to face off against something known as the Dark Presence, which has been causing some mayhem in Bright Falls. And it's up to Alan to find out what's going on, how to stop the Dark Presence, and essentially save Bright Falls if he can, as well as Alice. Alan is a very interesting character. The book is told from his perspective, but third person. So he has no idea what's going on. He keeps finding pages that he's supposedly written, but he has no remembrance of having written them. I actually really liked the way that those pages were included throughout the book. At the end of the chapters, there are different inclusions of what he's written, and some of them pertain to characters you've met or that you're going to meet and things that happen to him. I thought that was a really fun element, but this is a very fun psychological horror story that, I mean, it's got violence, it has language, but overall it's not really scary in my opinion. It has creepy elements, and I'm sure that in the game it's gonna be pretty freaky for me, but in written form, it's fabulous. I really enjoyed this book. I like the pacing, I like the setting, I like the way that the story unfolds. I also have a tendency to like stories that are about writers that have twisty writer elements in them. So the way that he runs across his own pages and can influence his life through the story is very fascinating. I was also a fan of Stephen King's Misery, which is one of the few Stephen King books I've actually read, which also follows a writer. So I just kind of have this pattern of enjoying creepy stories that involve writers. I like the setting of Bright Falls. It's very eerie, it's very woodsy, so it does a really good job of adding a spooky ambiance, especially when it comes to it being dark. Everything that's particularly scary in this book happens at night and involves shadows and darkness, because light is the entire thing that throws off the Dark Presence. Alan Wake is a very interesting novelization. I'm hoping that the video game is also very good. Its sequel just came out. I really hope that maybe we get another novelization. I would love to see how Alan's story continues, since it's been so long for fans of the game to get a sequel. I can only imagine how I would have felt if I'd read this a lot sooner than the sequel coming out. And yeah, I would love another novelization because I would love to revisit Alan and Bright Falls and go wherever he happens to be now. If you've read my blog, you know I tend to give Lone Star ratings. Here I'm going to give crowns because this is royally reading. So I give Alan Wake 4 crowns. I like the setting, I like the characters, I like the way the story unfolds, and I like the layers to it. I think it's a great video game novelization. I've read a few. I still have more on my TBR. If you are a gamer and you've played this and you loved it, try reading it for those times when you can't do another playthrough or when you want it on the go and you can't take your Xbox with you. Also, if you are a gamer who is dating someone that maybe isn't as good at games, or maybe these aren't the kinds of games you usually play, but you want them to experience the story, give this to them. You can both enjoy it, you can both have a great time, because you'll both know what happens. I highly, highly recommend this. As a gamer myself, even if I haven't played it, it's still top-notch. That's it for this book review. I'll be back with more content next Monday. That's the tentative schedule I'm hoping to keep right now. If you want more bookish content from between now and then, you can follow me at Royally Reading, or for teen, YA, middle grade children's books, you can check out Dreams of Tomorrowland, also on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.